Hi guys, welcome again to Roslyn Ogalo's channel where we talk about family life, motherhood, taking care of our spouses, cooking, many different recipes within Africa, and also give us your stories, challenges, business, corporate world. What is your story? Come share with us your story as I share my story with you. And we want to hear your story. We want to give you a platform to speak about your life, your experience, and teach us. We love you so much. We give you a chance. May you enjoy as you continue watching, subscribing to our channel. God bless you. We love you. I want to talk about my journey that I've never shared in detail. I know I've been giving points here and there, but today I really want to talk about something that I feel like it's good to talk about, even though it's a bit personal. But I think sometimes we learn through experience, and it needs somebody to take courage to come out and speak about their personal life outside there. And the moment I joined social media, it means I have put my life in public. I have nothing to fear. I have nothing to hide. I will let you know how it is raw and the way it is. I am a daughter of a pastor and also a daughter of a mom who is a prayer warrior. My dad is a pastor, reverend, overseer. All those are his title. And my mom is she has been doing so many other leadership in the church. In fact, let me just say, she is a prayer warrior of our family. She was raised in Catholic, then got married to my dad, then later changed to PAG, that is Pentecostal Assemblies of God. And somehow she blended, took it the way it's supposed to be. And the rest is history. She is a prayer warrior. She is our mother who prays for us. If we really need somebody to pray for us, we look for our mom. And if we want to know the word of God very vividly in a theological way, then we look for our dad. And maybe blessings, because the dad is the one who speaks blessing unless he's not there. But if he's there, he speaks blessing for us. And I tend to take my time, go back home. And anytime I go visit, do 1, 2, 3, I still make sure I ask for blessings from my dad. Anyway, what am I trying to say? You might not have a dad. I'm sorry. Maybe this one might make you feel bad, but you have a pastor. That is your spiritual dad. It sums up everything. It's just the same and one thing. If you don't have a physical dad, you have a spiritual dad, or you have an uncle who is a brother to your father. But sometimes I feel like the person who can speak real blessing, if my dad is not there, then is my spiritual leader, who happens to be my pastor. Anyway, that is just an introduction. So what I wanted to talk about my life out there, and I'm speaking in English so that everyone who's listening to me, I've realized people are listening to us across the globe. Initially, I thought it's only Kenyans who were listening to me. But when you go to the history of people watching you, you get some are from South Africa, some are from Gulf, there's some from America and different part of the world. So let me take time to speak this in English because it can help somebody who is also interested to know about it. First and foremost, my name, as I said, is Roslyn Ogalo. I am a proud mom and a wife, and I also work in the business industry, like I'm in the business world. I've worked in corporate, but I decided to change to business. Why am I speaking so much about myself? I wanted to give an intro about myself so that many of you can relate or get to understand me more. At times we entertain you guys, but also I like teaching, and it's good to share about my story so that I don't talk about others all the time, a friend, or a workmate, a business, just different people. But today is about Roslyn Ogalo. So I was born, raised up with my two parents. At some point, I stayed with my mom, with our mom in up country. Sometimes we stayed with my dad in the city when mom was up country. And also there's a time I stayed with my auntie very far from my dad, far from my mom. It's those sides of South Nyanza. And I'm from Kano, Kisumu, So why do I want to talk about my life? One, the fact that I've been raised in a house of God. I've been raised by a pastor and a prayer warrior. I also stand to be a normal human being. Don't expect pastors' children to be angels. Yes, we dine with the pastors, we stay in the pastor's house, but not all that stays in the pastor's house knows the word. About the knowing the word is a choice, and doing the word is another thing, and living within the word is another thing. So I was raised in the house of God. I also I was also a teenager like you guys. I also fall short of the glory of God like you. I also desired the things of the world. I also became an entertainer in high school, and along my life, things that I never saw. We were not exposed to this life, but when I got the chance, I made sure I enjoyed every bit and part of it. The only thing I'm proud that I never did was I didn't indulge in my body ati nikitumika huko nje. Hapana, pombe sikuwahi kunywa, and I thank God for that. It is not easy for a teenager. You mingle with people who are drinking alcohol and you don't drink. And it's very hard to mingle with girls who are playing around with their body with different human beings and you are not. And I don't know, there's a time I had some of my cousins saying, don't date a firstborn girl because you'll never get them down. And I come to realize it's true. Firstborn girls are really strict and they take care of themselves, and they fear early pregnancy. They fear falling into the wrong hands. They're ever insecure because of what they are told as they grow up. You wish to have a boyfriend, but you just imagine boyfriend, mimba, no marriage, and unamua tu, let me get into social life. So I think I was more of a dancer. The thing that I did that my parents don't know, I used to dance. I used to go to clubs to dance. Nobody knows about that, but my hubby knows. I used to do all this, but I would come back on Sunday and go to church. My parents never knew. I started this when I was working. I got a job, and because I loved dancing, like I used to dance, and not gospel, secular music. I used to dance kabisa. And you see, I wish pastors would listen to me today. Allow your children be who they are and guide them. I made sure nobody in my family knew my other side of life. Yeah, because I would wish to indulge in such things because it's the outside world that I feel like, in quotes, I'm denied because I'm raised in the house of God. I'm raised as the people in the church are comparing their children with me. You see, like some women in the church are telling their daughters, kaa kama fulani, kaa kama msichana wa pastor. And it was too much. They expected too much from me, and I was still just a normal human being. I needed to pass through some of this stage, assuming you had told me about it, or even the church could get youth department and tell them about it. Some of us would not get into this, but I don't regret. I say that everybody akona dhambi yake, anajua mali akienda kwa Mungu anaomba msamaha, and that was my biggest problem. That was my biggest problem for a very long time. But when I got married and survived, and okay, we lived with my husband, things were okay. Ni kama tu raha iliisha, nikarudi kukaa normal. And now we got into the church, and my hubby, I thank God that he supported me with me being a child of a pastor. We cannot stay from church. I know tutaanguka, lakini hatutanguka kutoka kwa mkono ya Mungu. So most of the time, my hubby could take me to church until we became members of a church, and we started raising our family in a godly way. So my painful journey started when I got pregnant. We lost our jobs, all of us. I was working with the American Embassy. He was working in a certain hotel. Then when I got pregnant, it was a plan. We were planning our wedding, but because of ile uoga watu wasianze kusema msichana pastor ameshika mimba, I ran away, got married, and we started surviving. And I thank God for my dad. He really searched for me, but the moment he found me, it just released me. Hakunibebea hasira ile ya umeniaibisha nini nini. I think alijua tu I'm an innocent child who has gone through this life, and whoever has taken me has owned up. So akatuacha, and he loved us. He gave us life. So we lost our jobs later. I think I was the first one to lose my job. Then we just survived. Then later my husband loses his job. And then even having food was a problem. Today I can't cry. I know I feel tears, but I can't cry because I see how God has walked the journey with us. And if you are a child of God, God will never leave you, no matter what. Even if you fall down, even if you atokiteleza, Mungu hatai kukuacha. And I want to talk about the children of leaders and the children of pastors who are being stigmatized when they're found in some lifestyle. People judge them so harshly. And so after we lost our jobs, I started living a life that I've never seen in my home. We were not rich. We were not poor. We were surviving. Because my dad had 2 jobs. One, he was a pastor who is being paid. And also he was working with the East Africa industry that is Unilever today. And also he did some business. He used to sell some suits. So we were not poor and we were not rich, but we were surviving. Meaning that we never lacked any meal in our family. We might not have the best meal. Ndio ilikuwa tu gali na skuma every day, but we never lacked a meal. Dad made sure we ate, the 8 of us. So when I came into my house, I'm like, we don't have breakfast, we don't have lunch, and I'm heavily pregnant, and we don't have supper. So we went through the first night, like I can't remember up to today. What I mean, it doesn't mean that having an empty stomach was the problem. This is life that I've never seen. I hear people say ati walilala njaa, but I didn't know what that means because I never saw it in my home. So I can remember my husband was not even ready to face the reality. I think all men, so I was like, and then I was not a team kutegemea watu. I was a hustler. I used to get my own money. So when we didn't have, I used to feel like I'm a failure. Not even my hubby or who. I felt like I'm the one who has failed. And I think sometimes I used to feel like, is God punishing me because I didn't wed, I didn't leave my parents' home with a blessing immediately. I felt like maybe ninachapwa kiboko. That is children of leaders and children of pastors. That is how we reason. That is how we think. Because we are taught the word, we know the right word, we know the stages and the right channel to follow. So the moment you find yourself out, you feel like either ni kiboko ama kuna kitu. So I think I took all the time the blame, and I was like, the moment I get my child, I would not sit in the house. I'll get out and go and work. But I thank God that my hubby could try, even if tutakosa leo, kesho hatakosa. We will try. And we survived until when I was 9 months, when I'm supposed to go and deliver. That's the last week, vile unaambiwaga. And because we could not afford scanning, I didn't even know the sex of the child I was carrying. I didn't know ni kama ni bridge ama ni normal, ameka normal ama aje. I didn't know anything. It's simple terms. Hatukuwa tunajua anything about the pregnancy. Mimi nimebeba mimba, hata sijui nimebeba mtoto anakaa aje. So nilipofikisha 9 months, my mother-in-law was still alive. She told me that don't wait sana. Ukisikia tumbo inakuuma kidogo, kimbia Pumwani, because we were going to City Council clinic. So if ukisikia uchungu imeanza, unaambiwa uende Pumwani. Our how do you call it? The clinic cards would allow you to go to Pumwani just in case of anything. So the last days I was weak. You know, ukiwa 9 months uko karibu kuzaa, umebakisha some few days kuzaa, I think you eat. Unakula juu mtoto ana demand. And you see here, we don't even have food. I go through empty stomach. Kulikuwa na these stones. There's some stones women eat, mawe. So I used to, that is the only thing I could afford. If I at 1 shilling, you'll get. So if I would get 5 shillings, I buy for 5 shillings. Usi moja 1 bob, utapewa hata 6 ama 7. So I would take the stones and drink water and go and sleep. So when I went for my last week to Kayole, it was in Kayole, Kanjo. Then nikapimwa. They could not feel their heartbeat. And then sasa because there's no scanning, and then I can remember that time wale watu walikuwa napima watu wako wamesoma sana, they were just midwife wenye wanaambiwa tu guza hapa na pale. I can remember they were not at too much educated, bora tu amefika form 4 na anaweza fanya vitu amefundishwa ni sawa. So the lady told me mtoto amekufa kwa tumbo. Then the fetus is dead in your tummy. So you can imagine, this is a hopeless woman with no money, with no food. The clinic was free anyway. So leaving that place, it was a bit far because I was heavily pregnant. I used to try my level-best walk and sit, then walk again and sit. Unatembea na leso, juu ni mbali, unatembea kidogo. Wale wameishi Kayole, those who stay in Kayole, I was staying in Rasta, and Kanjo ilikuwa huko mwisho wa Kayole, karibu junction. So I could walk kidogo, sit down, walk, sit down, in intervals, and reach the clinic. So it means that I have to leave my house at around 6 in order to reach the clinic by 8. And then coming back, I don't know, when I was told that the fetus is dead, I think, I don't know if I lost my mind, but I left the hospital, came straight home without sitting anywhere. I can't even remember. The only thing I remember, I left the hospital thinking so much, wiping my tears with the leso. And I realized I'm in the house. Hakuna mali nilika. Nobody even said hi, because people could say hi when I was sitting down as I got to the clinic. Oh, habari mama, are you okay? I'm okay. But this time round, I can't tell you how, but I just know when I left the hospital, I saw myself in the house. So when I went to the house, I was thinking so very much. I didn't have anybody to talk to. I'm still ashamed. I don't want people to know I'm married. I don't want to meet with the church members around, and some of them were in Kayole. So I was living a denial and a lie life. I'm lying. Naishimesha uongo. Yani sitaki watu wanione and all that. And mimba iko pale. It's something you can't hide. So I only felt like staying in the house alone was okay for me. So later, my hubby came, and when I broke the news to him, he left the house. Okay, I could see he was heartbroken. He was really heartbroken. And he left the house. It was in the evening, I can't tell, but kitu kama 5 ama 6 hapo. And he came back at around 10. So already by then, so I think he went to the mother. We were all staying in Kayole with our mother-in-law. He went to the mother and explained everything to the mother. And our mother told us something good. Our mother-in-law said something very good, I remember up to today. My mother-in-law told him, if the child is not there, there's a sign. And if the child is there, there's also a sign. What you do, go and tell your wife to lie on one side, not turn. The way you lie, when you're heavily pregnant, you can't sleep on one side. You get tired, you sit down, you stand to this other side. You get tired, you sit down. Sometimes you stand. Those last minute, there's no comfortability. You are not comfortable. So he told my hubby, go and tell your wife to lay on one side even if she's tired. Let her lay on one side and sit down watching her, don't sleep. So he came, he stayed. I'll get tired. He tells me, no, continue. Around midnight, I had the kicks of the baby. By the way, there was no kicks for a whole week. I could not hear the kicks of the baby. Didn't get to listen to the kicks for a very long time. But I came to realize, niyo nja, kushinda nja. So my hubby stayed with me until midnight. And then I started feeling the kicks. The child was kicking though unasikia hiyo kick nambali. Nikamwambia, mtoto ananigonga uchungu, please, I want to sit. Then somehow we knew our baby was okay. Imagine if I was not told that. I would turn and not know. So he had come with some milk, and I think with sugar. He came with milk and something. I can't remember very well, but he prepared tea. We took the tea. That is what he took for I think after 2-3 days, like the first meal. So the next day, I could feel the baby, and I decided I'm tired of hiding myself from church members. I'm tired of hiding myself from people I know. Let them speak, let them talk, let me get out. Surely hiding yourself for 9 months, I'm tired. So I started walking, hata kana tembea kidogo. I met my auntie who was staying next there. I didn't know. And I gave her my story. I told her we lost our jobs and this and that. She's a wife to my dad's cousin. Then she told me, why don't you come? We stay with you. Like the whole day, then you go back and sleep. And she's provided, imagine she provided breakfast, lunch, and she never got tired. She used to give me breakfast, lunch every day. And then in the evening, I go back to my house. My hubby comes with supper. He's like, what did you eat breakfast and lunch? I tell him my auntie is staying down here. I go to her house. I eat breakfast and lunch. Then my hubby said, supper we will not lack because I'll be leaving in the morning and coming in the evening looking for a job. If I get a job, we'll be okay. And I said, it's okay. And so that is how we did, our journey went until the day the water broke. And then I was taken to a certain hospital. I don't want to mention this hospital because we are talking of 1998. Hospitals were still chini. You don't blame the hospital. You don't blame the doctors. You don't blame the nurses. You don't blame the system. And I don't, because I have gone through transition with this hospital. I know what I can say about the hospital today. What I went through that time, I would blame an hospital today. So when I went, I told them I want to go for short call, but it has refused to come out. That is obstructed labor for those who know now. We don't have scanning. Who are taking care of us? They were just people who used to work in the hospital, then they are upgraded. Like I had a relative who was cooking, and she was allowed to kupima wa mama. And she knew, because she's working in the hospital, she knows the midwifing things, like touching the tummy, checking the centimeters. She knew. And she's a cook, but she was trained until she knows. So I can't blame the system then. And also remember my status. I'm not going to a hospital. We are jobless, so we will go to any easy hospital, cheapest. So we managed to go to that hospital in Kayole. When I told them that I cannot, this and that, it was around midnight, 1 a.m. So they told me, the centimeters, you'll be having your child in the next 3 hours. So my hubby said, why should I go back in the house? Let me wait for her. So he stayed with me in the hospital, in the reception, as I was in the ward. But I was crying. I was telling them I want to go for short call, but it can't come. If I try to push for the short call, I feel every part of me paining until I was standing with my toes. I couldn't stand with my full feet like this. I was tiptoeing to singeza kusimama simple. So I suffered that day. It was on 2nd. I suffered the whole of, it was 2nd. No, it was tarehe moja kuamkia tarehe 2. It was August 1st, midnight. So yeah, just on 2nd, very early in the morning. I stayed in that hospital, nothing. Tomorrow, the next day on 3rd, the doctor came. No, now on 2nd, the doctor came. Ask what is going on, and they were told, she's, it's not the work of the doctor to try and touch my tummy and check the centimeters. He would ask the nurses there, who have told you upgraded from cooking to nursing. They were saying it's what centimeter, but me, I'm just insane. I'm sick. I'm in pain. I could not even understand myself. So the doctors came and told me, you'll be having your child maybe by midday, this and that, the centimeter, all that. I'm telling the doctor, I want to go for short call. Help me. He said, no, it will come. But they were insisting I should ask for going for long call. They were telling me, when you feel like going for long call, let us know. Short call is not a big thing. So I stayed again on 3rd, the whole of 2nd, the whole of 3rd. Then on 4th, I don't know the truth, but because I can't remember anything, I'm being told I removed all my clothes and ran away with no clothes. And I was saying, please cut my stomach, remove the baby. Cut my tummy, remove the baby. Cut it. I want to go for short calls. So they realized I'm not okay. And remember, people are dealing with me are cleaners, cooks, and the security guy. So my hubby got a taxi. Thank God for my mother-in-law. May her soul rest in peace. She just wrote a note and say, go to Kenyatta, because she was working in Kenyatta. She said, present this paper to Kenyatta Hospital. They'll take care of her. Remember, my card only allow me to go to Pumwani. But now, I'm being told to go to Kenyatta. So my mom wrote a note and gave it to my hubby. We took a taxi. In fact, the hospital gave us a taxi to Pumwani. Let me tell you the story. The hospital gave us a taxi to Pumwani, but my hubby, along the way, turned the taxi to Kenyatta. And then we reached, the stretchers came, I was picked from the car, and very fast they ran with me to the emergency. Not emergency, that kale kama ukingen, it's like an emergency something, where you come in and they are like, they attend to you fast, though it's not a ward, it's just a space next to the reception, near casualty there. So because they saw the note and, workmates, na kujuana also, that's why I say, may God rest her soul in peace. This nurses saw and said, so-and-so, that's a grandchild, yes, come. When I was in the stretchers there, they insert a catheter. That is when I knew what is a catheter. They inserted a catheter and started draining the urine. My friend, there's those, kunaka kakitu kama kasahani, it looks like a plate where they put some, easy if it's a auto operation. When you're going for surgery, there's that thing looks like a plate. The first one was full with my urine, second, third, fourth, and then the lady asked, for how long have you not have your short call? I said, since on fast. And that day was on 4th. Hey! They said, okay. And then after that, they tried to check the fetus, but there was no fetal heart. So I was told there's no fetal heart. I'm telling you, the words I heard then, I didn't even know what it means by no fetal heart. They were not even telling me as a person. They were speaking on their own as the nurses of Kenyatta. This one tries to check, and that there was a manual thing for listening through the ear. No fetal heart, no fetal heart, no fetal heart. And then my husband was told, emergency, she's going for a CS. Why? And now I'm feeling good. I want to go back home. When they removed the urine, I don't have any pain. The only thing I felt, something pushed down. That thing was up. After they removed the urine, I felt something gone down. I think the fetus was a bit up. And when they removed the urine, the fetus went down. Like I felt it. I felt the movement from the upper part of the tummy to the lower part of the tummy. But no movement. I couldn't feel any movement. So they told my hubby, it's an emergency. She's going for a CS. You go back home, but you'll sign for us these forms. And I was taken. To CS. And then they realized I didn't have enough oxygen. The baby also, they were like, I don't know. I can't give everything medically because I don't even know what was happening. But I just heard she needs to be given oxygen. So I'm in the theater room. I'm being removed again, taken back to the emergency where now people we are having how do you call them? Oxygen. So they did put for me oxygen, and I stayed there, and I knew I don't have a child. So I was psychologically prepared. The journey was a tough one. It was the worst journey I ever saw. And I blamed myself. I felt like, how can I be raised in a church, in a house of God, with a pastor, and then I ran away without getting married with a wedding? And I really blamed myself so much. So at that time that I was in oxygen, I didn't even pray that God give me a child. I knew, okay, from the process, I was told the child is not there. So somehow, psychologically, I knew I did have a child. But I didn't even pray for myself to survive. I knew I'm going to die because I felt like God has seen God is seeing me as a sinner. Like I felt like I'm a sinner, not even God. I felt like I'm a sinner before God. So some nurses pass through, they check, no fetal. They write down there in the file, no fetal. Like after 30, 40 minutes, 1 hour, no fetal heartbeat. So students from Nairobi University with their lecturer came. They were in uniform. I saw them. I was now not in oxygen. They'd already removed the oxygen. And then the lecturer is asking me, how are you, madam? Thank God going to school is so good. How are you, madam? Then if you don't answer, they know you don't understand English. And I remember, okay, sir. So what is your story? Why are you here? And I'm like, I just told them my story is in my file, but I was being given oxygen. Okay, and then they checked my file, they read, and it was all no fetal heart. So I think that is when I got to understand that word in a clear way. So the lecturer was telling them one by one, take this apparatus, test her. So they push my tummy, then they press it somewhere, then they push again with that something like a horn. They put the ears, no fetal heart. The next one, no fetal heart. The next one, no fetal heart. Then the lecturer takes the apparatus and also massage my stomach, push it and listens to it and call another student who is a man now and tell the boy, come and also try. The other ones were ladies with other guys, but there was one person remaining. So this guy had it and said, that is now, I'm telling you, when I came to understand what is fetal heart, I heard him saying, I can feel the fetal heart from afar. Then the lecturer said, the child is, mtoto amechoka. There's a word they used, distress or what, something. They use a certain terminology to mean that the child is tired. So they asked me a little history, and there you can see everybody with a pen and a book. So what is your journey for the last 3 weeks? And I'm like, I was taken to the hospital on fast, this and that. I gave her all my history. What was your eating habit? I told them that I could eat 1 meal a day, but later we started eating 3 meals a day. So they said, maybe because of food. So the child lacks enough food. They wrote their own story, and then they told me, congratulations, God will bless you. You'll have a child. And I'm like, you people, you don't know what I've gone through. If that child can survive all this, that child is, I don't know what to say. What I've gone through, I don't think that child is there. And I'd already, psychologically, because it was a song with the doctors, it was a song in the clinic, it was a song when I was in the hospital for those last 3-4 days. So I couldn't change the song into reality. But to make the story short, after 3 hours, I was taken to theater. And that time, they could give you an injection, you sleep. Not like nowadays, you'll be given an injection and you see what is going on. So I was given an injection and I was asleep. The baby was removed. I found myself in the ward 1D, Kenyatta. And apparently, the 5 or 6 beds next to me, the way we were adjacent, all of them had lost their babies. And all of them, it was their firstborn. And all of them, it was on 4th. And all of them, it was cesarean. So we had lost our kids, CS, because many of them didn't die in Kenyatta. They died, the fetus were already dead in the private hospital they were going to, and then they were referred to Kenyatta for CS. So all of them, they were sure the fetus were already dead in wherever places they were going for clinic. But the time they were coming, they were all emergency. Only that some of them were emergency in the daytime. Mine was emergency at night. Imagine one of my high school schoolmates. We went through the same with her. So when we left, we started speaking one language. Oh, it was your firstborn. Yeah, mine was firstborn. When did you tell us the baby is gone? And for me, I knew like a week before. Another one, even me, it was a week before. Oh, I was giving birth through this midwife in the estate. They were trying to help me in the house. But by the time we reached the hospital, I was told the child is dead. So that's why I came to Kenyatta for CS and all that. And we blended and we became friends. We are speaking the same language. We could see those who have kids and just decide not to look at them because, when you give birth and see your child, it will hurt you. You don't even know, you've not even seen your child. Hata kama amekufa, haujionyesha, we are out of the hospital, umedungwa shindano, unaamuka kwa ward. How do you start telling them, show me the fetus? You'll not. So I think also we are not enlightened like today. We are a bit enlightened. You'll tell somebody, I want to see whatever happened. But now this schoolmate of mine, apparently she is from Tiriki. Tiriki is a part of Luhya that is very strict with their children. Whether alive or dead, they're very strict. Do you know the hubby took the fetus and went with it at home to go and bury because that is their first child. These other ones, his body was being brought in Kenyatta. So I remember that fateful day, the bomb blast day, my hubby didn't come. He used to come and visit me. And I feel so, I thank God for him. This guy could walk from Kyoto to Kenyatta to come and see me. And remember, he doesn't have food. doesn't have anything. He doesn't have a job. But he would walk from Kayole to Kenyatta, to and from. Remember, all of us, we know we don't have a child. He knows I don't have a child. Myself, I know I don't have a child. But he could come. He never stopped coming. So the day I got shocked, he didn't come on 7th. No, on 8th, the bomb blast day. Is it 7th or 8th? It was 7th. I don't know. He didn't come on the bomb blast day. Kumbe he came, but there was a lot of traffic. He had to go back. Then the next day, he didn't come. Because now it was all over in the news. And 9th is when he came. Or the 3rd day. Let me say that the 3rd day after bomb blast is when he came. So when he came with the mother. I know some things we take for granted. I never appreciated my mother-in-law for that. I just wish I did. Today when we're speaking the stories, when I'm getting the point, I wish I'd appreciated her for that. So my mother-in-law was off for 2 days, but that day they were all called. It was an emergency, nothing like being off. Everybody reports. So my mother-in-law reports to work. Then my hubby comes and goes to my mother-in-law's department and tells her, she was in Burns unit where people were burned, and telling her, I just wanted to go and see, I just want to know which sex did we get, even if we don't have a child. I just want to know which sex. That's all. That will be enough. I can give it a name and assume this name is gone. Then my mother-in-law said, oh yeah, that is very true. Give me some few minutes. I finish dressing this patient, then we go. So my mother-in-law finishes to dress the patient, comes to see me, and okay, the story was all over that I don't have a child. So she told me, take heart. You're a strong woman. I want you to get out of here healthy. And then they went with my hubby to the records. So they just wanted the records to show whatever sex, not alive or dead, just sex, because everybody knows I don't have a child. That aggressive lady, hi, Daktari, she went and told her, she's working there, and she was so aggressive. She comes to your department, she will work. And then she's like, give me the records for 4th. Give me the records for 4th. At night, she's given. Baby Roslyn Ogalo, 3.75 girl alive. Hey! Okay, mi sijui. My hubby knows. Then anauliza, huyu mtoto wako alive, where is she? Nursery. Remember, everybody's going to breastfeed the kids in nursery. I'm not going. I know I don't have a child. So who am I going to breastfeed? Okay, we have been blended with everybody who doesn't have a child. How do I start leaving them to go and check? Did I know? I didn't know. So my hubby with my mother-in-law, they didn't come back to report to me. They went straight to the nursery, and then they saw the children. There was a nurse who was feeding them. Then they were told, just check around. Remember, everybody checking around. They're not even the owner of the child. Nobody knows who the baby is until maybe you read from the hand. But apparently, my hubby says he saw a certain child crying and sucking her fingers. So he was feeling like, I wish this nurse could stop feeding the other one and feed this one that is sucking her thumb. And then there were two. She was sucking these two. And my mother-in-law is telling my hubby, walk around, these kids are many. Come and check everywhere. Remember, my mother-in-law is almost finishing the nursery. But my hubby is standing there. Okay, then they call the nurse, come. Help us with this child. Wipe her, she's dirty. And also help her get some small milk. And then they were asking her, what do you know the baby? I don't know. What is the name? When she checks, baby Roslyn Ogalo. Way, my hubby became somebody else. Wipe this child here right now. Feed this child right here now. And they were standing after feeding. My mother-in-law comes and tells me, do you know the bond between your husband and your daughter? It's just way here from the heavens. He refused, and he was saying he didn't know it's his baby, but he was feeling for this child, innocent child, crying. Other kids are crying, but this one really caught his eye, and he just had to fight for this child. So after they've done what they were supposed to do, they went back to the records, and then they came. I'm seeing two human beings so excited, and they're like, congratulations. And remember, my friends are on their bed looking at me. Okay, let me take you back. On 7, 8, everybody was visited, even these ladies who had lost their kids. Nobody visited me. No mobile phone to call my brother to come and visit me. No phone calls to call my parents up country to come and visit me. I was the only one in Nairobi. My brother was also in Nairobi, but there's no phone call to tell him I have a baby, come and visit me. So nobody, even the church, remember I had ran away from the church. So I didn't have literally anybody to come and visit me. So, and then there was that somebody came in the hospital, that's why I'm taking you behind, and told us there's bomb blast. We have we have many casualty at the casualty area, and there's some bodies. If you can go and identify a relative who was coming to visit you. So that's why I'm taking you back. Then I felt like, oh God, I lost the baby. I don't want to go and check the visitors. I don't want to meet with the worst, because that means I'll never leave the hospital. Who will get me out of the hospital? So I refused. Everybody went, because maybe a relative. It's not a must to be your mother, your husband. It can be a relative. So I decided I will not go. And I covered myself with my blanket and wept painfully in my bed. And I felt like Jonah. Is it John or Job? Yeah, I felt like Job. I never cursed God. I never cursed anybody. But I remember I cried. And I said that I'm paying. I'm paying. I say that I'm paying as a child of a pastor. I'm paying for not waiting for my wedding. I'm paying because I deserve to pay. I felt bad. I saw my life, my world crash. I've not seen a child that I carried for more than 9 months. My husband, who used to come and visit me, is not coming. And that is how I felt fate has shown me its other side. These are stories I've never told anybody. These are stories that I've been keeping in my heart for a very long time. And people have stories. They would wish to talk. They don't have a platform. But the fact that God has given me this platform, let me speak about it. So you can imagine on 7th, on 8th, on that 9th, I'd not gotten a visitor. But this time round, my husband is coming and telling me, congratulations, my mother-in-law, congratulations. I'm like, for what? Is it that you've discharged me? Or is it my husband has gotten a job? You know, like, this congratulation is nothing to do with the maternity, is nothing to do with my kid, is nothing to do with the pregnancy. I think it's something to do with my hubby getting a job and I being discharged. Because even about being discharged was another big problem. We didn't even know whether we were going to be discharged. We don't have a job, we don't have money. Then I looked at them. You know, I can't argue with my mother-in-law, so I was looking at my husband with those sharp eyes. Job? No. Bouncing baby girl. I'm like, for who? For what? Which type of a girl is that? That you gave birth to a girl, she's alive. No. I don't want to speak with a high tone because I don't want to hurt my friends. Remember, we are 6 with no kids. Do you know they stood and started listening to me? I told my husband, are you sure? The ladies didn't even want my husband to explain. Rosalind, that is our baby. Let us celebrate one. People are just breastfeeding here. We don't even have a child. Let us go and celebrate. All the ladies took me to the nursery. I look at that innocent girl. Hey, God can change your story. God can change your life. I don't know how you view life. I viewed life in a negative way. I saw things, I saw my world crushed. I saw myself as a sinner. I didn't deserve to have anything. I felt like even God, what do you need? Why should you reward me? I'm not even clean before you. I was really blaming myself. And then all of a sudden, God changes my story. In the group of women who don't have a child, God has changed my story. I now have a child. And then, after this, these ladies are embracing my baby. One is washing, the other one is dressing the child, nappies. Some of them were giving me their nappies. They came with clothes and they're supposed to go back with the clothes. Some of them donated to me. A child who had nothing left the hospital with 2 bags of clothes. Guys, there's God in heaven. There's God in heaven. So, I came back. My pain went away. My husband doesn't have a job. We survived. But after, I think 3 months, he got a job. And our life bounced back. And we decided we're shifting from that house, going to another house. We felt like hii nyumba ndio iko na kisirani, ama sisi tuko na kisirani kwa hii nyumba. Shifted, went to another place. Life was good. He loses his job, he gets another one. Stayed for 1-2 months, he gets another job. We survive. And here I get neighbors, Kayole. We are in a circle of friends. Mnajua tu kwa ghetto estate. Where you are staying in, you get friends, and I was splitting people. So tukaanza tu kuishi tu. Then 1 year passes, 2 years, 3 years, my daughter gets into school. Then the circle that I had in Kayole, either one doesn't have a child, but me I have, or some we have children. Like all of us, let me say I was in a circle or a team of mothers with their first marriage with their firstborns. And our kids were more or less the same age. Maybe mine is 3 years, yours is 3.5, the other one is 4. But that was the circle. 3 years, 2 months, 3 years, 4 months. That was the circle of our friends. Nobody had gotten a second-born. Do we even think about it? We are talking of the same language. Oh, I'm taking my girl to school. Oh, we are going for this parents meeting. And then first person gets pregnant. We celebrate, she gives birth. Small kidogo, another one. And by the time my girl was 4.5, all my friends, that circle, everybody was having second-born. It's still not ringing in my mind. I don't know that I need to get another child. We are getting a job, we lose our job, I'm working in a salon, do we even think of getting pregnant? And I'm using no family planning. I was not using any. Okay, I used for 1 year depot when I gave birth. Then I decided, let me stop. Okay, I didn't even start as such. I was too big. Nilikuwa mkubwa sana. From 69 to 99. That same year, I was too big and breathing was a problem. And yet, remember, I'm plating people. So these women, when you share, they tell you, ashindani nanonesha. So I went to the doctor and said, Doctor, is it too clinic to zamta? Nikambiwa, the way you are too big, you can't get pregnant now. Give yourself 1 year for the medicine to get out of your body. Then maybe after a year, you'll be pregnant. I'm like, my baby is 2 years. Let me stop. Maybe 3 and 4 years, I'll be pregnant. 3 years passed, 4 years, 5 years. And now all my friends have like 4, 5 kids. Because my baby is around almost 8 years. Then they started asking me, where's the second born? And remember, it has started eating me. Inanichanganya, but najikonsole. Niko na mtoto. Where my hubby had gone, I think he'd gone out. He was working out of the country. So he comes for his leave for 1 month. When he goes, I'm sure I'm pregnant. My periods come. And then somehow I started losing friends. And I started also detaching myself from people. Because I go to visit a friend, she has 3 kids. And the story is, oh, my firstborn, I labored like this. My secondborn, I labored like this. My thirdborn, I labored like this. And then people started talking. You don't know what it is not having kids. Yes, I have one, but 8 years. You've forgotten everything about your labor. You've forgotten about pregnancy. You've forgotten about everything, and everybody around you is having children. People are getting married behind you. They're having 3 kids. You have none. You have 1. Let me tell you. And that time I was a prayer warrior. Unaona ule mtu anaomba mpaka saa 8 ya usiku and I could feel the presence of God. But I was not getting children. Well, so here comes, I get a job, a very well-paying job. And my hubby get another country, very well-paying job. So we have money, we don't have other children. Many people judge me, and I thank God that this video will reach them and they will remember that they misjudged me. So I would go for people's wedding, I'll be among the maids, and after a year, somebody has a child. We go for the birthday party, they are pregnant again, and we come back, and da-da-da-da-da. And then questions started, loud. Wewe kwa nini uzai? Umeshindwa? There's a word they use, a very bad word, that unakula na unaenda choo. Uzai. I got that even from the church. Yes. And there's a woman in the church who told me, if you cannot give birth, let me give birth with your husband. Yes. There's a lady who told me that point blank. Nipe ruhusa nizae na bwanako. And she was not a girl. She was not my age mate. That time I was in my 30s and she was in her 50s. She told me that, do you know how painful it is? A woman who is 50 years like me today, telling a girl who is 30 years who has no children, that give me your husband, I give birth for him. Do you know how these ladies who have no children feel? Do you know when you don't have a child, your world is crushed? When you see your periods every month, you wonder where you went wrong. And this is somebody I was looking up to in the church. I respected this lady so much. But she had the audacity to tell me that. As much as I was a prayer warrior, I used to pray, I used to read the word, I used to preach in crusades, I was an evangelist, but there are things are beyond you. So when this lady told me this, it was a wake-up call, and I was like, okay. So sometimes it's not even the people are laughing at you. There's some who wants to give birth to your husband. And they, instead of keeping quiet or saying it from other side, they tell you in the house of God. Kama umeshindwa kuzaa, si unipatie nikuzalilie. You people who God has blessed you with children, munazaa vile mnataka, munadharau watu wazai. Do you know how painful women who don't have children feel? Do you know they have questions that no one can answer them? And do you know some of this lifestyle, we cannot face anybody. It's like it has slapped you on the face. You're not having children. You're having your periods every month. What is the problem? Why should I go and ask a doctor? Is doctor going to switch for me a light of pregnancy? I remember there's a time I used to say, I wish pregnancy was like a switch. You switch on, you get pregnant. When you have delivered, you switch it off. Take care of the baby for 3 years, then go and switch it on. Do you know what women go through? It is their pillow that can tell you. So many women are now isolated. Even family members have isolated them because they don't have children. Relatives have given them names. Anakula na naenda choo, hazai. Tulilipa mahari bure. I've walked the journey. You will go there and tell me, you have one. I felt like I had none. I felt the pain that you girls feel. I feel the pain that you women feel. I cried. Same ladies in the church told me, try outside. If your husband is coming next month, try this month outside. You can get and fix him in the church. I'm not talking of people outside. I'm talking for people I look up to. Imagine me, I know the word. I've been raised with a pastor. I know my stand. And they had the power to talk to me. What about that innocent girl who is not raised in the house of God, who is not raised with a pastor, who has just come to a church because they're desperate for her child? And then this elder woman tells her that. And they're desperate for a child. What will they do? They'll go for it because this is a woman of the church, elderly as the matter of fact, she's elderly. She's telling me to go out. You will go. And you'll go with all the strength. I would go back and cry. I would go back and cry to God. And I could ask God, is it so hard to forgive me? Is it so very hard to forgive me? Why? Why are my mates having children? My journey was a tough one with the firstborn. Why? Why is my life with pregnancy an issue? Why is it that when I'm pregnant, I was told negativity until birth? Now that I'm ready for the secondborn, why? What's happening, God? Did I do anything wrong along the line? As I go to preach in crusades, am I hurting people? But people could come and testify that Rosalind preached and we'd stayed for 10 years without a child, and after her message, we have a child. But when I come back, I don't see it. And I'm like, why should I pray for you to have children? But I can't get them. I pray, I'm not getting. I'm even giving more strength of my own prayer. I pray for you, trusting God you'll get a child, and you come back 1 year with a child. So I'm like, God, you did it for her, then you can do it for me. Then I give all my energy, I pray, I remove every sin, I cancel every spirit, I cancel every familiar spirit and my background and my clan and all that. 9 years, 10 years, 11 years. Then I think when you were 10 years, my hubby told me that maybe we try the wedding. Maybe we hurt your dad, your family, maybe they're not happy with us. Let's try everything. We've given tithe. We've gone for prayers. I've gone to Catalonia. I've prayed. It's happening to others. It's not happening to me. So we felt as a family, we sat down and said, let us try and give our dad a best wedding that he wanted to walk me down the aisles. And maybe due to that, he can release us. Just in case, he may be tulimkasirisha, alilia, aku reverse the cry. So my hubby comes, they go pay dowry in 2007. 2008, I did my very big wedding. For those who know me, it was a very big one. And we didn't get pregnant. Even after the dowry, my parents blessed us. Nothing. We did the wedding. They blessed us. Nothing. And then here comes the other painful journey. So my husband loses his job. For me, I was still working. Then after some time, I lost my job. Then after we have lost our job, then I get pregnant. My painful journey. Some of you are lucky. You wake up in the morning, you give birth, you have a job, you have money, and life continues. Ours, the life is shattered. I can't even afford clinic. That time we were paying. Yes, it was a city council, but tunalipa. I could not afford. We cannot afford food. My daughter chased out of school, stayed in the house. And everybody ran away from us. Nobody came to our rescue, even just to pretend, even for the baby, not even me. Forget about me, my pregnancy, forget about my husband, but my daughter was not going to school. None came in and said, let us pay for your daughter fee as you look for food. None. So my daughter stayed. She didn't go to class 7. She was in the house. And this time I was not thinking it's a punishment. This time God spoke to me differently because I knew already you've blessed me, so it's not a punishment. I went to Katoloni. Let me take you behind. I went to Katoloni, prayed to get a child. And the picture that came, I saw my stomach. I was pregnant and my stomach was transparent. And I was sleeping on a metallic bed. So the doctor was telling me, look at, what I got in Katoloni was, look at your stomach, is transparent. For real, I saw my stomach. It was big, but transparent. And we could see the child. In the vision, I'm not pregnant. That was 2007, and I'm getting pregnant 2008, towards the end, because I gave birth in 2009. So I'm in Katoloni praying, and then God has taken me somewhere. I'm sleeping on a bed, a metallic bed, kitanda chuma ya mabati, not see a chuma ya mabati, like this surface of sleeping is metallic ya chuma. So, you know, it's pressing me. I'm feeling those, inanifinya mwili. And then he tells me, look at your tummy. The doctor was talking to me as a man. Look at your tummy. And apparently I could see my tummy. It's clear, transparent. You could see through like a water. You can see through the other side. And then he's telling me, can you see the child? I'm saying, yes, I can see the child. Which sex is this? I'm saying, like, I don't know. I'm just seeing something playing, but I can't see the sex. And he's telling me he's a son. He's a boy. He's a boy. And then I looked at the doctor. Then, because I was in prayers in Katoloni, so when I came back to my senses, because I was praying, I realized, I was praying. So I didn't know how to differentiate vision and I didn't know it was a vision. I think I was so desperate. So I felt like I'm hallucinating. That is how I felt. It's like either I'm hallucinating because I'm thinking so much about having children. To make the story short, so that it went like that. So this time round, I'm heavily pregnant. My daughter is out of school. We are staying in the house. We don't know where the next meal will come from. And then I was told to go for, once in a while I would get money, go for clinic. It was 200 or 250, but I couldn't afford. But when I would go, and then they told me, don't come here until you go for your scanning. Remember, I have a scar, and it's not the scar that you people have today. Mine was from the umbilical cord, this where your umbilical cord used to be, going way down. So it's a bigger scar. So this clinic, the nurses were telling me, go and do a scan and come and let us know if you can deliver normal or you'll go through CS again. So my hubby looked for money, gets me the money, takes me to town, Afya Center. He had his errand, he went, and I went to the clinic. And when the doctor did a scan, same thing. Remember, this is 2009 and prayer was 2007. That is when this thing came to reality. I'm sleeping on a bed. Then the doctor is checking my tummy and there's a screen. Then he's asking me, can you see the screen? I could not see anything. No, mamchele kwa your screen. Me, I'm not seeing anything. And then he tells me, you have a child. I said, yes, I know I'm pregnant. But can you see the sex? I don't even know where he's seeing. Him is seeing me, I'm not seeing anything. He's telling me you have a boy. And then I remember the vision. I asked him, you say what? You have a son. You're going to give birth to a baby boy. But there's a problem. You'll not go to term. You'll not give birth at 9 months. You'll get the baby early. And remember, I'm only 5 months pregnant. And he's telling me I'll not reach 9 months. It's not even adding up. So I'm like, why are you saying this? And then he's telling me things to do with centimeter. Oh, this centimeter to this centimeter shows this. But the whatever is this. So your child is growing very fast and has a big body. So chances are you will not reach 9 months. You might get the child at 8 months. And I'm like, I'm not going for a CS again. I don't want to go for a CS again. I want to push. I want to have my child normal. I want to feel the pain. He told me that we can do it for you. I said, I don't want. Because nursing that wound was not good. Remember, we don't have food to eat. We are suffering. That wound was not good to nurse. I don't want to nurse another wound. Other women are giving birth normal. Wakate kila mahali washone. So I left there, came to my hubby, oh, it's a boy, this and that. He said, don't believe doctors, don't believe scanning. How we got our daughter without knowing is how we'll get this child without knowing. And then went for my clinic. When I was 7 months heavily pregnant, I developed a disease that I can't explain. I started coughing continuously, that I could not drink water, I could not talk, breathing was a problem. So because at least we could get some, my husband was not, at least he was not like the other time. He doesn't have a job, but he would get some business here and there, some errands and get some cash. So he came and told me, you'll be going to this private clinic because I don't want you to go far because of the kind of a life we are living. So the lady was looking at me and telling me, which type of disease is this? I cannot give you medication because when you are pregnant this much, whatever I'll give you might affect the baby. So what we do, because your coughing is irritating, we are going to Pumwani. It was around 7 p.m. So we called my husband. He comes with the car. He had a car. And then we went to Pumwani. 7 months, logically, we're just going to be given medication to cool the coughing. Then I come back home. So I didn't even carry my clinic cards. I didn't carry anything. We were just going for medication. So when we reached there, there's a rule in Pumwani. A pregnant woman, even if she's pregnant 2 months, get into the hospital by 7, they don't get out. By 7 p.m., no pregnant woman gets out. Remember, mine is 7 months. Like it's, you can see it's big. So they said, this cough is not good. She will stay with these people. I was taken to a ward where the women who have pressure were staying and blood sugar, diabetes. We were together. So I was taken there. I was coughing. They were irritated. They were like, toke nje. It was, even me, it was irritating me. It was continuous. I could not stop. So the night nurse who was staying with us in that ward, hey, she was like, what did you eat? I don't, when did it start? For the last 1 week. She comes with this cover of medication. This is kifuniko ya dawa. It has some measurements on it. Clear one. She comes with a certain medication, gives me. I don't even know which type of medication was that. When I'm given, the cough goes and I want to sleep. Remember, I've not slept for a week. The moment I start sleeping like this, the cough starts. I'm telling you, I'll cough like 3 good hours. I am not, like, even I stand, I start feeling pain on my tummy. She stayed again at around 4 a.m. She went back and came back with that medicine again. When I took it, the cough went down. Then by 6, it started. So we were taken to labor ward. So I was taken to the labor ward. And then the doctor was told, or the nurse was told, check on her. Her case is different. She has been coughing the whole night. And it has been like this for the last 1 week. Tell us what we can prescribe so that her family members can come and pick her. We told them to come in the morning. So the lady said it's okay. So she's going, checking everybody. Then she feels, she's irritated with my cough. And then I saw her doing this. She was a lady doing like this. She's listening to my cough. And then forget about me. She attended to another lady. She stopped everything and came to me. She asked for a certain machine. They measured the baby when I was sleeping, and I was coughing. I cannot even sleep like this. You know what she said? Emergency. Theater straight away. Which theater? Remember, I'm not registered. I don't even have a card. There's nothing. I'm just here like I'm here illegally. There's nowhere I've been registered. Registration should be done this morning. As it was brought at night. They said she can't leave until tomorrow. You people come for her tomorrow. So maybe I was to be registered in the morning. I'm being brought to labor instead of to I don't know where to register, or the reception or what. I was taken straight to the labor. Here at the labor, the doctor says, emergency, take her to the theater. Around 7. So, not 7, around 8. I think it was 8. They told me, change your clothes, wear the theater robe and go. And they took me. I just had to remove my ring and my phone. It's already gone off. Hizo magasimu zilikuwa zinazima. Hizi za battery, si za picha, za battery tu. Nikakava na jacket. They kept them somewhere and I was taken to the theater. So there at the theater, remember, they need to induce me. The baby has not come. Huku wameandika sijui chupa 7. Hey, chupa inaenda pole pole, ya kwanza, ya pili. And then he said, it's okay. Then he tells me, lady, kuja hapa. I'm feeling cold. My body is cold. I was lying on a metallic bed with no clothes. I'm telling you, I'm pressed on this bed. My body is paining. I'm coughing. I'm uncomfortable. I can't sit. I can't sleep. I can't walk. I can't stand. I had him rubbing my back. Then he told me, stop coughing even for 1 second. Remember, it's something you can't control. So I coughed. And that 1 second, I kept quiet like this. I was already injected. Lala, I cannot sleep. Lay on your back. I cannot feel my body. I can't. I don't know how to go back. I don't know. Then he made me lay down and then asked me, what are some of diseases that you are living with? Then I said, I have ever gotten environmental asthma, but it disappeared. The last attack I got when I got pregnant, then it disappeared. So they brought asthmatic medication there. Then he prepared me. He told me, Madam, we are going to help you deliver, but when you are alert, when you're seeing, it's not like ya kitambo mnalala. Kambia, it's okay. Then here, I slept. I was put to lay down. And I just had everything, but there's a small curtain. So I don't know what's going on the other side. But I'm seeing the doctor and talking to me. Then I started feeling my oxygen inaisha, hewa inaisha. And there was something, they added me, I was injecting asthma, I started getting attacks, I was given medication. And finally, I was shown a son, a baby boy. And I thank God for that. So I was taken to the ward, the baby taken to the nursery because 7 months, definitely. Some things had not started active. They were not active, but because of the being induced, it's in a jump start. But I could see the baby was big. The baby was big, like naona ni mnono mkubwa. You could see this, inaitwaje, bumps everywhere. So they went with the baby. I was taken to the ward. And I remember kuna shindano nilidungwa kwa hips. I can't remember, but I saw the doctor coming, injecting me the medication. And then I was taken later to the ward. Then after 2 days, I started breastfeeding my son. They noticed he had a problem with breathing. And we suffered for a very long time again. So here I have a son. I have a baby. But in the hospital Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we are in the hospital every day, blocking, vomiting, unable to breathe. Then that was a journey which went. I don't want to talk about that today. And then the baby became big, went to school. And now I started encouraging women who don't have children. God will bless you. You'll have children. And along the line, my friends were getting children. We pray with others, they have children, and the journey continues. And now it reaches a point. I told God, because my son is in hospital, in and out, help me with the last child to wipe the pain of running up and down to the hospital. Even if I go to the hospital, there's another one who is healthy in the house, but specifically a son. That time my son was, I think, 3 years. Then we take him to school, and the journey of waiting for the third born started. My friend, for 9 good years is when I got pregnant. and I had to go again to Katoloni. Remember, along the line, I have people I just do for them counseling and they get children. I just talk to them, I pray for them, they get children, they come back and testify. People of my circle, leave alone the ones I used to preach for in crusades. Those ones, they can even say anything. But these are people I walk with. And somebody tells me, Aki Rosie, I want a child. And I'm like, I encourage them, I pray with them. They come back and tell me, I have a child. And it was another time for me to wait. I waited until I said, no, for me to get my second one. I remember going to Katoloni, denying my life, my social life, and just going to be in the presence of God, pray and ask God for what I want. So I thought this time round I'll be shown the same vision, nothing. But this time was a battle. It was a war between me and God. I want a son. God is telling me, don't decide. I want a son. God tells me, don't be selfish. I want a son. I want another son. God is telling me, let me make the choice for you. And I could literally hear that. And then I told God, then if it must be like I have to have a girl, then let them be twins, a boy and a girl. And I heard the voice, no, stop making decision for your God. Keep quiet. I'll bless you with the child I wish to give you. So finally I toned down because the pressure on the other end was so heavy. God telling me, stop deciding for me. And then God blesses me with a baby girl after another 9 years. She's exactly 20 years difference with the sister. The sister's 98, she's 2018. They have a difference of 20 good years. And I thank God that they really bond so much with the sister. Even that big difference, you could even find them arguing. They'll start arguing and I'm like, this small baby, what are you arguing with your elder sister? But I thank God for that. So the painful journey, every child have a painful journey. My daughter, you know the painful journey. I've given you the story. My son, the painful of walking in the hospital, coming back, no breathing. Anyway, from in the hospital back home. So with the baby girl, all went well. I got the baby. God took care of us in the year 2018, 2019. And then, which year? Not 2020. She was 1 year, 2019. 2020. I can't remember very well because it's something that I don't like remembering. So this painful thing that happened, my parents were celebrating 50 years of marriage, and we decided to surprise them as the children, or me and my siblings. We decided to surprise them with anniversary, like a wedding. Everything, a full wedding, but anniversary wedding. Yeah, let me say that. Anniversary wedding of 50 years of marriage. So we were putting funds here and there. We were supporting me and my siblings. We said my mom has to get a very nice gown, my dad a good suit, and just do a wedding, have the flower girls, their grandchildren to be their flower girls, you know, everything. And we did everything how we could. And then I went to Kamukunji to buy shoes, to buy the children's outfit and whatever they're going to wear. And then when I came back, I told my sister, let us sort what we can assort. Then I can go back home with the kids, my son and my daughter, the younger one. The elder was still in the university. So I was like, the second one and the third one, let me go back home with them after sorting everything. So when you are sorting things here, we had a cry. I don't want to talk about this, but let me just brief. We had a sharp cry of a child. And then the sharp cry was just once and kept quiet. So and then we asked ourselves, is there something about these kids outside here? But I felt like somebody had something snatched and given back because of the cry. It's like my daughter. I felt like, even I didn't think it's my daughter. I felt like it's somebody's child having a toy. And then another kid came and picked it from this other baby, and the baby cried and then was given immediately. That's sharp cry that ends immediately. My babies were playing in the second floor, and us were in the shop. So my daughter, my baby fell from the second to ground and break 17 fractures on the head, and the neck ilijiskuma ndani hivi and unconscious there. So somebody from the opposite building saw the legs, meaning that the child is fallen. They went and knocked to the next door shop, not mine, and told them there's a child that has fallen down here. And they said no. Then when they saw there, she was lying helplessly. Then there's a next clinic there. When they were taken there, they said there's no oxygen passing. This child is totally unconscious. There's no life in her. So there's a lady who had come for medication in that hospital, said, what do we do? Take the child to a hospital that has oxygen. So they come call my sister secretly. Ebu come, and I tell my sister, you're being called. They were told that the child is we are not sure if the child is still alive. This is what has happened. So my sister covered the baby and carried. And then they came to the shop and told me, ingia kwa gari haraka haraka, get in the car fast. And I'm like, why? Kuja. So I closed the shop and got inside and became telling me I spoke every negative that can be spoken in this world. If my child dies, I'll blame you. I was telling my sister, I'll blame her why she left them out, and I don't leave my kids out. I locked them in the shop. Why did you leave them out? So and the driver was driving, and she's sick. She's a little sick, but she's helping us. So when we reached the hospital, they took the baby and insert the oxygen, but not responding. So we cannot in this branch, but we have another branch where this one needs to go to HDU, highly dependent unit. And because of COVID, you need to be separated and be somewhere on your own. I said, do anything. So we went there and they asked for us to give them 100,000 as deposit, and they realized CT scan. She had 17 fractures from behind and the neck had pressed itself in. But now she's still unconscious. There's nothing. You push her like this, anamwagika huko. So ni oxygen too. And it was an oxygen that I'm holding. Not oxygen that imekaa tu, ninaambiwa nishikilie. Then my sister came with the money, we paid, and because we were not okay, we were not in our stable mind, we gave the money, we don't know who we gave, we didn't write anything, nothing. And then taken to HDU, stayed there for 1 week. Slowly by slowly, there was some response. She started coughing, but I was told because of the fractures, either she might not have vision, talking, or hearing. One can be a problem because the fractures were intense. And then after 1 week, I realized her head was heavy. She could not stand. Her head was just falling all over. The doctor came and gave us that neck holder. And after a week, after some few days, you were told you are discharged. And because of COVID, you can't stay here for long. So at the discharge time, my husband goes to the reception. They're being told the bill is 40 something. And we paid 100. Do you know what? Because all the HDU were full, I was taken to a presidential unit. There, they only bring the machines. It's not a HDU. So it's not 100. It should go down to, I don't know how much per day. It was around, not per day. The total, whatever, the bill was 45 in short. So I'm telling my husband I paid 100. Maybe it's 145. We need to add them 45. And they're saying, no, your bill is 45. So I said we gave 100. Then they asked me, whom did you give? Do I remember? I don't. Whom did you give the money? I can't tell. I just said I gave somebody. Who? I don't know. How does it look like? Light is a bit lighter, slim, but nothing else. The name, I don't know. And everybody has a tag with the name. My child is unconscious. Do I look at the I could not see anything. To make the story short, we went to the accounts. They got the man. By good luck, they went to the day I was admitted and the timing, and they got the man. I want to give you a story of God. In everywhere I lost hope, God came. In every place I lost hope, God came. Let me take you back. Before I was discharged, the first day, the baby is unconscious. The second day, the baby is unconscious, not responding anything. So the third day, I remember the word. I wanted to cry to God, but I remember a word. Stop choosing the child. Let me make the choice for you. You chose a son, secondborn, I gave you. You wanted a life in the baby was not their firstborn, I gave you. This one is my choice, not your choice. And I was arguing with God, no, it has to be a boy. Don't choose for me. Finally, I told God, come, look at the child, helpless. You told me not to choose. Please, it's not my choice. It's your choice. And the baby woke up. I was not even praying. I was just talking. And the baby started coughing. Mom, where's your steam? And the sun is hot. Every window is open. We have all lights in the house, in the ward. And she telling me, open the light, I want to see. Nikasema, woi, macho imeenda. I back because the neck could not balance. Then she tells you, give me your phone. I give her the phone. Where is the light? And the phone is with the light. So she had never woken up. So she was still, the vision was coming slowly. She could not see. But after some time, the same day, she was now seeing. And then she started asking for one question, another question, simple like that. So I saw God who chose for me at that point. Then after being discharged, we went to the accounts. They followed up. Imagine after checking my admission time, they knew the person. The account called the guy. He was on leave. Or not on leave. Those off you're given like 3-4 days. He called him and asked him, there is a patient who came here, a lady with an unconscious child. Yes. And she gave you money when she was being admitted. Yes. How much? 100,000. Where is it? She told the accountant, let me come and give. She told the accounts office, let me come and give you. Imagine it was in the hospital. Assuming she could have sent somebody who is not good. See, they'll say they've not seen the money. He came, went, and opened one of the drawers that nobody uses and got the money. M-Pesa za to M-Pesa, 1,000, 200, 50, that is how it was. And he gave them, and they confirmed. But now they said, we don't give cash. We give a check for records. So they wrote for me a check for 55, which I got. And that hospital, I remember giving a shout out that they treated my child who was so unconscious, left there, okay, and gave me back change. I've never seen an hospital giving back change. I don't know, maybe they do. But for this one, it was 100,000 HDU admission. We were not taken to HDU. I felt we were in HDU because of the machines, but we were not in HDU. They came back and told us that was not an HDU, but the machines were brought there. So these are the charges. The total amount is 45 or 44. Yeah. And they gave me back a check. I was given a check and cashed it and saw the money back. What am I trying to say? Today I was bringing a story whereby my journey has not been easy to get a child. You people have said, anameza dawa ndia sizae, anakula pesa wetu ata. I've been told everything. I never planned for 12 years to get a child and planned for 9 years to get a child. It is not an easy journey. It is not. If you are out there, you don't have a child, and you have gotten all the name in this world, I got them too. What I came to realize now to give you my story. In all this suffering, I was going through something called hormonal imbalance. It was a hormonal imbalance, and I knew it when I'd not gotten my secondborn after my wedding. I decided, no, my hubby, and the guy now said, I want to check your history of your cycle. So we started before the wedding. He checked. It was a lady, she checked and noticed I have irregular periods. Then did some tests and realized I have hormonal imbalance. Then she explained it to me and my hubby. My hubby understood. I didn't understand. Mimi, don't tell me anything apart from telling me how I'm getting pregnant this month. That is the only language I understood. But telling me it is a process, we have to bring your cycle normal, give you some medication for hormonal balance. My friend, just tell me by next week you'll be pregnant. That was the only language I wanted to understand. So when I know people who don't have children, I know what you go through. Yes, we are different because I have these kids. You'll judge me like that. Let me tell you, 12 years. 12 years waiting, and some people have 3-4 kids between. You have a child, somebody gets married, have 3 children, you have not even, you are 12 years, you have no child, and they have 3 children who are going to school. Do you know the language I got? And then there's some people who talk negative about girls. You have a child, is a girl, and you're being told, ujaza. Ujaza, you kwaki mtoto, msichana si mtoto, as if I'm not a human being who is a wife to your family. Then you tell me giving birth to a girl is not having a child. There are things I was told right on my face with people you need to respect. But they told me a girl is not a child. And the day you'll give birth to a boy is when we'll know you have given birth for our son. Then when I gave birth to that boy, none of them came to tell me now I've given birth. Unangoja kusifiwa ati ukishazaa watakusifu. You will have kids of your own, and that is the day you'll know kids ni wako, si wa Bwana. Amana hata acha kazi ya kuja kukaa leo watoto. It's your business, it's your children. So when the delay is still there, I know the journey is a hard one. I know you're misjudged. People just come near you to breastfeed. Wakati wewe breastfeed, mwingine anakuambia ni bebe mtoto niende nioge. I know how it feels. I know it's a painful one. People who wake up in the morning, kama mwingine aliniambia, mimi unaniguza tu hivi mimba imeingia. Si tunatamani kwe switch on na haiwezi. Afadhali wewe unaguzwa inaingia. Some of us, we don't know that language. Some of us, we have to go for prayers to get kids. Some of us, we have to cry for 12 years. When you, after 2 years, you get unatukana wale wazai. We have journey. We have stories. It's a painful one. I have suffered for all these kids. But I tell you, the last born, I told God, hata kama nilisuffer first, nikasuffer second, huyu atembei na matatu. All my clinic, no matatu. Delivery, no matatu. Any errands with this child for at least 2 years, no matatu. And God is faithful. Imekuwa taxi kutoka ni mimba iingie mpaka sahi. This girl thinks that hizi Uber zote ni zangu. Yeah, she doesn't know how to, she has never even used a matatu. Hata kama ametumia, I think maybe atashanga, hata maybe ni once ama twice. She knows hizi taxi za Uber ni zangu. Mama umesha request, and you know she's young, so even requesting si ati anashikanisha. Request Uber yetu. Yeah, it has been like that. I said for her, let it be decent so that when I'm testifying, I know what to testify. Wewe mwenye unacheka watu wazai. Wewe mwenye unaringa ati wewe unajua kuzaa haraka kuliko wengine. I'm not cursing you, but please stop laughing. Stop laughing at some of us because it was a delay. Stop talking about women with 1 child. Just because you have 10, unadharau ule amezaa moja. Just because you have 6, unadharau ule hajazaa. Let me tell you, I've walked the journey, and through that hard time, I know what women who has no children tell God. I know. They would wish to miss their periods and be confirmed. I could miss my periods and they still come. I would vomit as if I'm pregnant, kumbe ni hormonal imbalance. And for a very long time, I knew I'm suffering from infertility. So for infertility na hormonal imbalance. As much as infertility hautapata mimba, pia hormonal imbalance inazafanya usipate mimba. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical practitioner, I'm not a gyna. But to this extent, I stand to be corrected. These two can deny you pregnancy. So what am I trying to say? If you stayed for long without kids, look for a gyna. Some of these things are mental. I'm telling you. Unaweza enda uambiwe anxiety ndio inafanya upate mimba. Nothing else. You're not even having hormonal imbalance. Hauna hata infertility. You are so uko na anxiety, that could be a problem. Yes, juu umekaa tu umeka kichwa, leo ni mimba inaingia, ikisha kosa everything in you changes, everything in you bomoka, then unasema sina mimba. If you're there, you don't have children, you've prayed, but you've never gone to a doctor, you've never gone to a gyna, I urge you, go to one. Go to a gyna, and let me tell you, you'll be surprised. Hata saa zingine wewe si shida, maybe hata bwanako ndio shida, and because wewe umejiwekea blame yote, you're carrying the blame, na maybe ni ya mzee. You need to go, all of you, to the hospital. Go and get good information. And they also can help you track your system. Na ukuje usaidike. I remember taking fertility drugs. Yes, I remember crying to the doctor, telling the doctor it's not hormonal, it's infertility, I need fertility drugs. I was given, nothing came. Nothing. That was even when I was 7, my daughter was 7 years, I started taking fertility drugs. Then is when I came to another gyna who told me that you have hormonal imbalance. And I was like, no, it is infertility. She told me you are not having infertility. Mwanzo shakwa na mtoto, utaza. But sikuwa nasikia. Mimi, the only language I understood ni how can I get pregnant today? I've walked the journey. I've received criticism. I've received negativity. I've received bad advisors. I've been told so many sort of things. And I've learned something. As an elder woman, I'll never tell a girl to go and try get pregnant outside marriage just to prove a point. Please, hold on. You are the same child. The way that woman has 10 children and they are God's people, you are the same. You are a God's child, even if you don't have a child. And He's the giver. He will give you at the right time. Yes, you can stay for 5 years, 10 years, but let me tell you, when you'll get that child, all these years will disappear. And then, to sum up, there are those who don't want children. So when you're abusing them that they're not giving birth, you're interfering with their wish. Some don't just want children. Completely. Si kwamba nachukia, amesema tu, sitaki kuleta mtoto ateseke kwa hii dunia, sitaki watoto. Such people, honor, respect them. Because decisions change. Maybe along the line at a change. So why should you judge them? And why should you give them harsh treatment? And who told you when you have kids, you have to dharau wataona watoto? Nani alikuambia wewe ukiwa na watoto ule hana si mtu? Who told you that? This journey some of us have walked, and we are just here to testify that it was once the worst experience, but later God wiped our tears. I want to encourage you. You don't have a child. You have a child, one, and you have stayed in that relationship for 20 years. You have only girls, umetusiwa. You have only boys, you've been given names. Please, in every situation you are in, it's a journey. God is preparing you. You're going to talk to someone who is going to start the journey, and they'll find that your journey has changed. Maybe you had only boys. God has remembered you with a girl. Maybe after 15 years, you will have something to say. Maybe you have girls only, and maybe after 20 years is when you get a son. God will give you a story to speak about. Maybe you don't have a child, but you've walked the journey and accepted it the way it is. You'll speak to another person who doesn't have. Give them encouragement and survive. And maybe you don't want to give birth and you are okay. Walk the journey. You'll encourage somebody somewhere. I don't know what your story is, but if you have a story that can change somebody's heart, like this one of mine, a hard journey that God only God wiped my tears. Only God had my secret cry. Only God became my best friend, because everybody around me judged me, gave me names, threw words upon my children, and I was given all sorts of names which up to now, I'm so happy that the same people who spoke about me never bought for my children even a t-shirt. Never. They abused me for not having kids. When I gave the kids, they at a handkerchief, aseme, ay, Rosie nimebaia mtoto wako handkerchief. Never. And today they fight my children. So unangoja kupendwa? Hautapendwa. Uzae? Hautapendwa. Uzae wasichana tupu? Hautapendwa. Uzae vijana tupu? Hutapendwa. Uzae watoto wote? Hutapendwa. They will still have issues with you. I'm here to tell you, you're unique, you're peculiar, you're smart, you're blessed, you're anointed, and you are in God's hands. That is the thing that matters a lot. Other opinion, potelea mbali. You are a blessed person. And God will bless you according to your heart desires at his appointed time. Maybe your journey ni watu waonge. Maybe your journey for waiting ni watu wakupe majina na wakuweke maalama na wakupoint mikono. Let them talk. Let them judge. Let them speak. Let them do everything for you. But when you are given chance to laugh last, they'll be crying when you're laughing last. So anybody with any challenge that's the same like mine, you're going to get over it. I'm a mother. I've gone through that. And I'm here to tell you, God is going to wipe your tears. Whatever you want will come to pass as long as you're still alive. What I want you to do, so that you don't miss the mark, appreciate God for every situation. Tell God, I'm crying for kids, but at the same time, thank you that I don't have them now. Your time is coming. Thank you that I don't have them my time. They're coming at your time. Thank you, God, that you have allowed me to persevere, cry, wipe my tears because of this journey. But your time is coming that my tears will be dried by God, that my story will shake the nation, that my story will leave a mark in every listener, because we don't manufacture children. We don't manufacture pregnancy. God does it. God does it. And God's time is the best. So thank you so much for those who've listened to me. I felt like I need to give my story. Inaweza kukubo, sorry. It has encouraged you. Thank you. It has uplifted you. I'm happy. It has given you hope. Thank you. Please comment, subscribe, share, and like the video. And help me push this video to many people so that those who are heartbroken, hidden in their houses, not talking, can have a stand and speak. I know this story will make somebody think twice. Whatever you think twice, our channel is opened for you. Yes, many people have reached to come and share. We have to also consult. I don't want to give a fake story. That we finish speaking, watu wanakuja kunivamia, huyo mama ama huyo msichana anadanganya ama huyo mwanaume amedanganya. No, we usually take time. You give us your story, we call you, tunaulizana maswali, tuna confirm, then we can share so that we can help another person. This life you're living, it's just about the journey you've passed through, then give us the mantle. Toka hapa, give us the mantle. We go on with the journey. So God bless you so much. I love you, the love of God. Have a good day. God bless you. Bye.